Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Clay Bowman. I'm the Director of Business Development for Tac Insight. We are very excited to have you joining us today for our first Discover Virtual Conference. We had our first session just about an hour ago with Ron Thompson. And right now, I'm going to be handing this over to BJ Lusk, who is one of our regional sales managers here at Tac Insight. He's a product expert. And BJ is going to be taking us beyond ticketing. He's going to dig down into Fastway a little bit deeper for you to make sure that you know what you need to know about the product. We actually had some interesting interactions last week where we discovered that the depth and breadth of our product is kind of taking a shape and form of its own. And there's a lot underneath the hood that some customers just aren't uh, they're not aware of. So we hope that this presentation will give you a little bit more insight into our product, and we are very excited that you've joined us today. So thank you so much. And with that said, I will turn it over to my good friend and colleague, BJ Lusk.
Hey, thanks, Clay. Appreciate that. So yeah, I appreciate everybody being here. If you were there last week in Knoxville, I hated it. I couldn't make it and be there, but maybe next year we can do this thing again and get to meet everybody face to face if I've not already met you. So today I want to talk about a few of the things that, like Clay mentioned, that you may or may not know that we do. I know that when I do these demos for a lot of people, we cover a lot of things, and we do try to cover all the things that you see listed here, but in the not chaos, but going through so many things, your head spinning, you're trying to just grasp everything, and then you become a customer. Maybe you forget about some of the things that we did in the demo, or maybe we didn't cover it. You don't know. So we're going to cover some of those things today. We're going to talk about quotes. We're going to talk about inventory, dispatching, our in-yard functionality, and then also proof of delivery. So we'll cover those here in just a second. If you have any questions, hit that little the little question thing right there and type those questions in. I'll get to those towards the end of this presentation. We'll answer any questions that you may have. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move from this right here. Let me get straight to the web portal here, and we'll start covering things. So I kind of set this up in a way that I thought might flow in a way that might flow in a business sense. Okay. Like, hey, this is, somebody's going to call in and for material, and we need to check our inventory, and then go to the quotes, and then maybe we can dispatch. And so I tried to set it up in a way that flowed the best. At least in my mind, it may not make any sense to you as far as the flow goes, but at least in my mind, it's a good flow for how things go. So one of the first things that the first thing that I want to talk about is inventory. So with our inventory module, we can track the inventory of whatever product you want to. You don't have to track the inventory of all products. You can just track for a few different products, but we can track those inventories for you. Whatever product that you want to track the inventory, I've highlighted this 57 stone right here. You can see that we can see that all the values going across right here, and I'm going to explain all of that to you right now. So with each product, we do need to set a beginning inventory. Okay, so we're going to set a beginning inventory. Maybe it's a drone survey, or maybe you're starting from scratch and there's just none there, whatever it may be. We do want to put that starting inventory value in there. So we've put that in there, that set inventory. And then as we go along, maybe you're producing material, you're crushing material, we can add through a manual entry, we can add to that value. So we're doing like a daily production add right here. So you can see this adjustment. We added 500 tons right here. So we're going to add to that inventory. And then maybe you want to do some other things, like you've got some other adjustments like this right here, this shrinkage. So maybe we need to deduct some inventory or some material or whatever it may be from that pile. Okay, so we can put those adjustments right there. Here's where we enter that adjustment. So right here, you can see the adjustment. You put whatever it is, whether it be, daily production or whatever it may be, and then your quantity right there. And then any additional notes that you need to type in there, you can do that right there. The other things you can do here, there's the set inventory, but also receiving. So if you get a ticket from somebody that's bringing you material, maybe you don't produce the material, maybe somebody's bringing you material, you can actually enter that value right there as well. Okay. And also another thing that we do as we sell this material, those tickets, as they go across the scale and that transaction's made, we're going to deduct from the inventory right there. And then also too, again, as material comes in, if we want to create an inbound ticket for that material, we can do that, and we track those as well, where we add to that inventory. So all of that works together to kind of give you, you can see our receiving and incoming, our outgoing right here, the tickets going out, any adjustments that were made. There's our current inventory right there, $79.96. You can put a cost to produce or maybe a cost to purchase that material right there, and that gives you your current inventory value. So if somebody's calling up saying, hey, we got this big project, I need to come get 1,000 tons tomorrow, do you have enough for me to come get? You can quickly come in here to your inventory and in real time say, yeah, hey, we've got enough, come on and get it. Now we also, within this inventory, we do have a dashboard. If you don't want to go in there and look through all that stuff, you can come here to the dashboard and look at your current inventory and just see really quickly, the material that you have on hand. You can say, okay, we've got a little bit of a spike here, an anomaly right there, but you could go across right here and say, okay, yeah, inventory is looking pretty good. We've got enough inventory. Just a different way to kind of look at things. So maybe somebody calls you and says, hey, do you have enough? Say, yeah, I've got enough. Well, hey, put me together a quote. I'm going to need 1,000 tons. So we can come over here to the quotes module. So I've opened up a quote already, and I'll go to some other screens within this quoting module. But if this looks familiar to you, that's because when we set up a quote, we can turn this quote directly into an order. Okay, so that's why this screen looks just like the order setup screen right here, because there's just a button I'll show you here in a minute. We can click that button and turn this quote into an order. So you've got all your descriptive information right here, PO number, job number. We're going to add the products here, either a single product or multiple products right there. We've got our order quantities here that we can put in there, and then pricing and freight and all that good stuff we can put in there as well. Now, the cool thing and interesting thing about this is, it's still relatively new, and probably a lot of people don't know about it, is we can email the quotes directly from our system to the customer. So you just select the representative you want to email that quote to, and you can see I've already emailed this to myself. So let me pull that one up real quick. There it is, right there. So when we email that quote to the customer, they're going to get this email right here, and then they can click right there, and it's going to pull up that quote. Now, understand that these quotes are customizable. Just because this one looks this way doesn't mean it has to look that way for you. They are customizable. So you can go down through here, and the customer is going to be able to do this right here. So I am the customer right now. I'm looking over this quote. Everything looks good. I can type a note or a comment back to the producer. So I want to say, looks good. Let's start tomorrow. So I'll type that note right there. And now I can accept this. So I'm going to accept the quote right here. I'll hit accept. And now I've accepted that quote. So when I come back here to my quote screen, I'm going to refresh this screen right here. And you're going to be able to see quote accepted by this person on this day right here. Let's go and find those notes. So the notes right there, hey, it looks good. Let's start tomorrow. It was accepted again by this person at this time right here. And then just like the order setup, if you've got any documents you need to attach to that quote, you can drop those documents in right here, and that document will live forever with the quote, but also too with that order. Okay. Now, another thing with the quotes, and I fail to show this a lot, and I really need to show it a lot more, is the quotes dashboard here. So if you got a lot of different salespeople and you want to, this is always it's really skewed just because I automatically accept every quote. So it's just really bad data. But anyway, so you can see right here, here's your counts and your amounts right here. You can see your salespeople here, how many they've had awarded, different things right here, how many have been accepted, rejected, expired, all those good things you can see and kind of keep track of everything that's going on. You can do it month to date, year to date, quarter to date, or whatever that may be. So that's the quotes module right there. I think there was one other thing I wanted to show you on this. There is another thing I wanted to show you, and I almost forgot. So we've set up these quotes. Let me change this over to all. Okay. So we've set up all these quotes right here. And let's say they've accepted that quote. Now we want to award that quote and turn it into an order. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to find that quote. So you can see right here it was accepted. So all I have to do Just click that award button right there. That turns that quote into an order. So now we're ready to create tickets on it, and no additional setup is done. Okay. Now you can always edit this. Just because you've turned that quote into an order doesn't mean you can't change it. You can edit this just like you would any other order. Another thing too with the quotes here, and we can set up these projects. So maybe you've got this big project and there's like 4 or 5 customers that you're quoting. Okay. You can set up a project and then you can classify those quotes within the project right there. So like this Iowa Highway 30 job right here, we're quoting all these different customers right here. So we can quote all these different customers. And another cool thing that you can do is you can copy a quote. So if you're quoting multiple customers on the same project, and really everybody's going to be getting the same price, the only thing you're doing is changing the customer. Just hit copy right there. It's going to pull up a new quote, same description, same price, same everything. We're just going to change the customer right here to let's say Beta Builders. Okay, I hit save, and now I've created a new quote. I'm ready to send this out to this guy right here and go through that whole process all over again. Okay, so that's the quotes module. It's a really powerful tool, as far as getting things organized. A lot of people we talk to say, hey, we're still on spreadsheets and it's just kind of, and then we've got to get the salespeople to get that back to us. And then at the office, we've got to enter that. And sometimes we're behind and we have to send some loads out on a blank order or something like that. This really will help you streamline that process. Okay. So we've created this quote now, and they've accepted the quote, and we've got that order in there. So now we're going to go over to dispatching. And let me get back to the main screen for dispatching here. So we're going to go over to dispatching. So somebody says, all right, hey, good, we're going to use you for this job. And, it's a 1,000-ton order or something like that. But these are daily dispatches. So they're going to call you up and say, tomorrow, I need you to bring me 100 tons, or I need you to bring me 20 loads. So we can set up these dispatches and then communicate that out. If you want to, communicate that out to the drivers through a text message or through an Ncab app, which I'll show you a little bit later when I go on to proof of delivery and things like that. But setting up these dispatches is a pretty easy process. You can see I've got 2 dispatches right here. I've got this one for these Bolton Builders to a subdivision, and then this one right here for this I-75 widening, this shoulder work right here. In the grid view, I can drop down and drill down and say, okay, hey, Lusk Hauling is going to be helping me with this. They've got 1 truck assigned to it right now. Okay, here's what we're paying them. I've requested 2. So far, they've committed 2. I know Lusk 2 is coming, but I don't know who the other truck driver is. But that doesn't matter, because when we add trucks to these dispatches or add hauling companies to this dispatch, we don't need to know the trucks. But if we do know the trucks, that's good as well. So that's the grid view. We also have the whiteboard view. It kind of helps you plan out your day. So you've got these dispatches up here. You can say, okay, we've got this one going on, this one going on. You're probably going to have a lot more than just 2 dispatches. It's probably going to be filled up right here with all your different dispatches you have going on. And you can see the requested quantity here versus the fulfilled quantities right here. So they need 100 units or they need 20 loads. So far, we don't have any shipped out to them, but hopefully we'll ship out some to them here in just a minute. Okay. And I do want to show you how to set up a dispatch. I'm not going to go through everything. I'll just show you the way it looks here. I've not assigned any trucks to this dispatch or anything right here. So you can see the header information all up here, all this good stuff. But now we want to request a hauling company to help us out. We want to say, hey, I don't have any internal trucks. I need somebody to help me out. So I want to say, hey, let's go down to Scott Hauling. Scott Hauling, I need your help. Okay, I'm going to need 2 trucks. I'm going to hit update. So what we can do now is we can send this email to Scott Hauling right here. And it's going to be the dispatch information. It's going to say, let me go ahead and pull this up for you. He's going to get this email saying, okay, we're going to pay him something. I guess that's probably a bad miss on my end. But anyway, he's going to see this dispatch. He's going to say, okay, here's where I need to go. They need 2 trucks. They're going to pay me nothing. I'm working for free. Do I want to do this or not? Okay. So we're going to be able to see that. And then he's going to be able to call you and say, yeah, hey, I'm good. I don't know who I'm going to send you, but I'm good. I'll send you a couple of trucks. Okay, so you've got him there. He's good. Everything looks good. So we're just going to hit save, and we've got that dispatch. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's say he's committed 2 trucks to me. So I want to come back in here and say, great, Scott Holling's going to help me. He's going to send me 2 trucks. So I put that right there. Okay, so now we've got this one solved, right? We needed 2 trucks. We've got 2 trucks committed. We're good. We can rest easy knowing that that dispatch is going to be taken care of. Okay, so now moving on to the next part of this is the ticketing. Now, I know we said beyond ticketing, but I do want to show you something with the ticketing here. We can integrate the dispatch or requests in with the ticketing screen. So yeah, we're here and we're a truck comes in and we know that we've got some dispatches out there. The scale operator can say, what are all my trucks with dispatches out there? So right now, the only one we have is this Lusk 2 truck. So I'll say Lusk 2 right there. Click on that dispatch. It pulls up all of that information so you don't have to type it in. We'll grab the weight from the scale right there, take the picture, and then create the ticket. Okay, so we've created that ticket now. So now what we can do is we can come back here to this screen. I'll go ahead and hit refresh. And there we go. You can see 20 loads is what they asked for. I just created that ticket. So 1 load has been fulfilled. So we can kind of track that at the dispatcher level. Hey, have these loads been fulfilled, or how are we doing on this progress right here? Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about within, so that's just kind of the dispatching at a high level, what we can do. But also too, if you wanted to track the trucks or send the dispatches to the trucks and they'd be able to click through an app, and I'll show you the app a little bit later, but if you wanted to be able to do that, we can do that. We can use the phone or tablet and use that GPS to track the truck and allow them to click through that I picked up the load, delivered the load, do some proof of delivery. Also to create tickets from the cab of their truck if they want to. So if you're going to a third-party location, one that's not your own, to pick up material, using that Ncab app, they can actually create a ticket from the third-party quarry. So that way you're not waiting on that truck driver to bring a ticket back to you. You're actually creating a fastway ticket, taking a picture of that third-party ticket, and getting it into your system just immediately, so you could do your next day billing if you wanted to, just using the fastway ticket that the truck driver created. So we talked about live tracking. I'll show you that real quick here, and I'll put my sites and plants on there as well. So I'm logged in right now. You can see I'm down here. There's my job site and plant, but you'll be able to see your trucks on the screen right here, see where everybody is. So make some decisions about, hey, who can I send where? Well, hey, Lusk, he's too far away. I don't want to send him. Maybe somebody else is closer. Another thing that we can do is this tracking query. So if you wanted to see, there's some question about where a truck went, maybe a route that he took, and he took a lot longer than everybody else. You can always come over here and search and find the route that he took. So you can see my route. I've been kind of all over the place here. So you can see the route of that truck, and maybe he went the long way around, and that's why it took him a lot longer, but you can do the breadcrumb tracking there as well. Okay. So that's dispatching. So we've created these requests. People have called us, said, hey, I need you to send me this many trucks, this material. We've created all that information. We've created that ticket, and watch that fulfilled versus requested quantity on the screen and everything like that. So now let's talk about the in-yard functionality. And my request timed out. So let's talk about the in-yard functionality here. It's called loadout on the screen, but we're going to transition that name to in-yard, talking about trucks that are in the yard. So in-yard here, what we can do is when the trucks come into the scale house, we can check those trucks in. So let me do that real quick. Let me come back over here to this screen, and I'm going to put a truck number in here. I'll say Lusk 12. I'm just going to put something here real quick. Okay. So now I'm not going to use this heavyweight. I'm going to use a lightweight. I'm going to just put 20,000 right there. And I'm going to tear this truck in. There's another way you can do this, but this is just one way, and it's probably the quickest way for the demo to show you. So I'm just going to tear this truck in. Is the truck in the yard? Why? Yes, he is. So the truck's in the yard. So when we do that, we check that truck in. We know that he's in the yard. So we've marked that on the web portal saying truck entered at this time. But also, too, what we can do is we can send this information up to the loader operator. You see Lusk 12, he just checked in, he's right there. Now, I don't have capacities for these trucks. So, but you could put a capacity on there saying, hey, they don't need any more than 25 tons or something like that. I just failed to set that up for these trucks, but you can have those capacities there. So the loader operator is going to be able to say, okay, Lusk 44, there he is. The loader's going to have, the loader operator is going to have a tablet in his loader, and he's going to be able to see the trucks that come in and who's there and what they're there to get. So Lusk 44 is there to get 57 stone. Okay. And also, again, the capacity would be there, and he could say, okay, he can only hold 22 tons or whatever, so I don't need to load him any more than that. So after he's loaded, you just click on the load complete button right there, and now that truck has been marked as loaded. So now when you come back to the scale, right here, we'll just say Lusk 44. Boom, pops up that information. We'll grab that weight, create that ticket, and now Lusk 44 is on his way. Okay. So we do all of that at the scale house to come back here to the portal. Let me get this out of the way. And we'll be able to see, okay, if we're tracking things on the portal, maybe somebody has some questions about some things. We can say, you know what, this truck right here, Lusk 12, he entered at 11:19 on 3/1. This is what he was here to get. Okay, and we can track all of those trucks right there that have come in. We can see those trucks as they come in real time. Also, too, the history. What the history does is it gives us Lusk 2 came in, Lusk 44 came in. All these trucks came in right here. Well, this truck came in at 8 o'clock. He got loaded at 11:20. He got ticketed at 11:21. So I don't know, maybe his truck broke down for a few hours, but you can see all of those things right there. He entered at 8. He got loaded at 11:20. He ticketed out at 11:21. So this will help you track your efficiencies. Okay, so you know that trucks are not sitting around waiting at piles or anything like that. You know that, hey, we're on top of it. We've got these trucks loaded. We've got them ticketed out. They're in and out real quick. Or, hey, he's bogged down. We're really busy. Maybe we need to throw another loader operator in there. So you really are able to, with the in-yard functionalities, track your efficiencies and see how good or how bad that you're actually doing with your loading operations. Okay, so that's the in-yard. We've loaded out the trucks. We've created the tickets. Now let's talk about this proof of delivery. Okay, so with proof of delivery, there's a couple of different ways we can do, there's a lot of different ways we can do the proof of delivery. We can do the proof of delivery within the Ncab app through dispatching, like I was mentioning earlier. We also can do it through our free mobile management app, which a lot of you probably already have and are logged into. And here in just a second, I'm going to pull up those two apps and show you a little bit more about those. But what we can do here in this delivery query is we can say, hey, or actually before that, in the order setup, we can mark orders that we need to know if they were delivered. And then we can come in here and say, okay, these tickets were created, but they've not been delivered yet. Okay, so we can see that. And as they've been delivered, we'll be able to see, hey, they were delivered by this person. It took this long to get from the plant site to the job site. Here's a map. Here's an image, a picture that was taken, signature, and all that good stuff. So we can track all those things. So I tell you what, give me just a second to switch screens here. So I'm going to come back over here, get my phone pulled up. And there it is. So I'm going to show you this Ncab app first. And again, a lot of you already have this. If you don't have it, download it now because it's really going to be good for you to use. And if you've got access to the portal, you've got access to this app right here. So it's our mobile management app. You can see that same dashboard information. You can see the ticket summary information. But a cool thing about it is anybody that has access to this, whether it be truck drivers, customers, they can see their tickets on this app right here. So there's the ticket that was created at the scale house. So anybody can have their tickets on their phone. And then when we talk specifically about proof of delivery, the person that's doing the receiving, whether it be the truck driver that's marking a load as delivered when he gets to the delivery site, if it's a customer waiting on that load to come, that customer could be sitting there with this app and mark the load as delivered, or a DOT person or a project foreman or something like that. Anybody could do it, whoever you designate to do it. So I'm going to mark a load as delivered. So I'm going to come right here to this ticket 499. I'm going to get a signature of the customer right there. I'm going to take a picture of my desk right here, but we'll pretend that that was the, maybe I took a picture of the truck, or maybe I took a picture of where I dumped the material. So I'll take a picture there. You can put some verbiage in there if you want to, like you see right there, but you don't really have to do that if you don't want to. And then or any additional notes, I should say that too. And then we'll just hit this save button right here. And now we've marked that load as delivered. Okay. So maybe this, I'm going to do it one more time. So maybe this next load, something's wrong with this load. So I'm going to click and reject this one. So I'll just say, I'll say too coarse. Material was too coarse. I don't want it. Hit done right there. I'll just put a big X. And maybe I want to take a picture of the material showing it was too coarse. So I'll do that, hit save. And now I've marked that load as rejected. Okay. So that's the proof of delivery app that you can do through mobile management. Now, I talked about the Ncab app, and while I'm on my phone, it's going to be just the easiest to kind of break over here and show you. So this is the Ncab app right here. So let me go back. You can see the truck driver can have all of his dispatches right here. So you could text it to him, but you could give him this Ncab app, and he could see his dispatches right here. So he says, okay, I'm dispatched to this job. I'm going to click on that right there. I'm going to start hauling. Okay, now I'm going to the plant side. I've picked up my load. All right, now I'm going to go to where I need to deliver this, but I don't know where to go. So I'm going to click on navigate to destination. There I can see I got a long way to go. Got about 6 hours to get to the job site right there. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. Once I get to the job site, I'll hit deliver load. And I don't have any tickets because I've already done the proof of delivery. But remember, on the other app, when we have the proof of delivery, that ticket's going to be right there. We'll click on that ticket, and it's going to take us through the same steps that you saw just a minute ago to mark that load as delivered. Okay, I did both of them on the other app. That's why there's none right here. Okay, so that's really quickly the Ncab app and the things that you can do with that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop hauling on this one. Well, let me cancel the load. Stop hauling. I'm back here. Now I'm going to clock out because I'm done and we're good to go. Now, since I'm here, and I know this is beyond ticketing, I do want to let you know that we do have, because a lot of people don't know, but I do want to let you know that we do have some mobile ticketing functionalities to where if you wanted to create tickets from the loader or somebody on the ground just creating tickets, you can do that from this app right here. You can just turn it over to the ticket mode. We can create those mobile tickets really quick and really easy. You can create the truck comes in, you'll select the truck here, choose the order, product right there, 22 tons or whatever, create load ticket. I chose not to print it, but now I've created a load ticket. So I didn't want to not show you that while I was here. So we do have this mobile ticket functionality. If that's something, a lot of people have these remote pits where you don't have a scale. Maybe it's by you got a loader scale, or maybe it's by the load or by the yard. You want to create a ticket. We can do that through the mobile ticketing right here. Okay. All right. So let me switch back over to the computer real quick. Get my screen pulled up there. All right. So back here at this screen, I'll hit query again. And now I've got a few more tickets. Okay, I've got a few more that need to be delivered, but you can see here I've got these two that have been delivered. Okay, this guy took him 10 minutes to get from the plant to the job site. Where was he when he delivered the load? He was right here. Okay, so we've got that proof. There's the ticket right there. Signature, we keep a copy of the signature. Of course, this one was rejected. So was it rejected? Yes. Did he put a note in there? Yes, he did. We could actually click on that right there. Oh, too coarse. So we know why that load was rejected. And then this guy right here, actually, the load was successful. Same thing. We can see where he was when he delivered that material. This one was the picture. So this is the picture that I took right there. So we actually keep a copy of that image as well. And that came up on another screen. So I can slide that over and show you. So there we go. There's that picture that I took. Okay, so this is really good for, a lot of the states, and I was just up in Iowa last week, and, the DOT was there talking about e-ticketing and things like that. And a lot of the things that they were talking about is just this. Well, it's a couple of different things. E-ticketing is just a digital ticket and a way for the DOT to get that electronic ticket. But also, too, some of these states are going into, yeah, we want the digital ticket, but we also want to know when that load made it to the job site, and we want someone there to receive it and accept it. So a lot of the DOTs are, and we're actually doing some things with Tennessee and other states, Washington and other states as well right now, using this functionality and being able to mark the load as delivered. We can do it. We can automate it to where nobody touches the thing. Just put some Bluetooth beacons in the trucks and a receiver at the job site. So when a truck comes in, it automatically receives that load. Or like I showed you, we can manually receive it. And then that way the DOT's got all of the things that they need for that e-ticketing protocol. So this is really becoming it's been an issue for a big topic for a while, but it's really starting to catch a lot of steam in a lot of states as they're coming up with their specs and things like that for e-ticketing. Okay. That is our proof of delivery module. And actually, that's kind of everything that I wanted to talk about in all of this. I guess right now we can open it up for questions. Let me get my screen pulled back up where I can actually see the questions if I need to. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask those questions right now. We can go back over and cover some things if we need to, and I'll try to answer the questions the best I can.
BJ, you should be able to see those questions
Yep.
we've got in review there.
Gotcha. So does the navigation use the driver's cell phone, tablet navigation app, or a trucking centric app like PC model? So the navigation, we can use whatever. So when we click on, navigation, we can open up whatever default GPS app you want to use, whether it be Google Maps or Waze or whatever it may be. We can open up and use any of those things. Can you do this with internal hauling? Yeah, sure, you can do this. You can do it with internal trucks. It's actually probably a lot easier to do it with internal trucks as far as the dispatch goes, just because you have more control over those trucks. We find that the third-party trucks are often more resistant to the dispatching and being tracked and things like that. So yes, definitely internal hauling, we can do it with those trucks. I guess I should point out too, when you internal trucks, I know I went through that process of where'd my thing go? I'll just come over here. I went through the process of adding requesting a hauling company. You don't have to send out a request to a hauling company. You can just say internal hauler and then just add whatever trucks you want to. So let's do this right here real quick. Let's edit this. So right here, you just put internal hauling company, your internal trucks, and you just come through there and you can add whatever trucks you want to. So, hey, this is an internal hauling company. I want to put these trucks on it right here. I won't worry about putting that on there. Hit save and notify, and you've added those trucks. Hired truckers deliver for several companies. Do they usually have issues using their own cell phones or keeping companies separate using it on their phones when delivering loads? I can see where that would be a problem, that, you've got a lot of different companies you haul for, you're trying to keep it all straight. I think that most of the drivers have, maybe initially, yeah, okay, because it is an adjustment period. But we've got one customer that he was telling us about how people were resistant, and it was a little, I don't want to say confusing, but it was a bit of a process at first. But once they started doing it, it just became really easy, and they got it and they figured it out, and they're really happy that they're doing it, because with a lot of these people using this functionalities like they are, they're finding they get paid faster because they're able to track things better, and there's not turning in paper and things like that. So they're actually able to get paid a lot quicker. So yes, maybe initially it is a little bit of a process for these people, but once they get going with it, it's pretty easy to figure out and keep everything separate. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody within TAC Insight that feels like I need to cover something that I didn't cover within all of this? Maybe a module that we need to show off that I haven't? Oh, I know. Let me do this. So with the dispatching and talk about third-party trucks, we do have this hauler pay module here. So the same as with billing, and I know if you were on with Ron, we talked a little bit about billing and AR, but so we're hiring trucks to help us out, but now we need to pay those trucks. So what we can do is we can create hauler pay statements to send out to those drivers. And I really haven't tested this because it just slipped my mind, but let's see if we got anything in here. Yeah, there we go. So we've got these trucks right here. We owe them money, right? And we can review this. We can look at it. You can review it in your billing processes too, but you can review it right here and say, okay, here's Lusk 2. Here's all of his tickets right here. Yeah, everything looks good. If you need to edit, make any changes, you can do that as well. But everything looks good. So now we're going to batch these up. Let me just give it a batch ID right there. And when I hit assign, what I've done is created hauler pay statements. So now I've created these hauler pay statements, and I'll print this one off. This is my fake hauling company. Let's see how much money I've got coming to me here. So you can see here's my hauling statement right here that I'm going to send to Lusk Hauling. And it looks like we owe Lusk Hauling $3,325 right there. So we can send that to Lusk Hauling Company, and then they can look at that statement and verify it with what they have. And then from there, got this presenting thing up in my way, and I don't know how to get it out of the way. So let me do this. Just come back here. I can't navigate like I want to. So we send that to Lusk Hauling, and then we can come back here and we can say, okay, that's how much we owe him. Now it's possible too that we could export this and integrate this with your accounts payable to create those payments for those vendors. So it is possible. In the same way we can integrate with billing for AR, we could push this over to your ERP and do some things with that export file. So that's hauler pay. I know we talked about dispatching and hired trucks. So I did want to throw that out there to let you know that we do have that functionality. Maybe it's not an integration, but at the very least create those statements so you can send those out to the drivers and show them what you have for how much you owe them. Okay. Questions? Anything? Okay. Well, I guess if we don't have any other questions or comments or anything, I guess we can kind of wrap things up there. If you think of anything, reach out to us, let us know. We'd be happy to answer those questions. I tried to tell myself to slow down through this because sometimes when I get to talking about it, I get a little excited and go a little too fast. So I tried to make myself slow down. But if there's anything that I didn't cover that you want to cover or dive deeper into, because we really just scratched the surface. So if there's anything you want to dive deeper into, get in touch with us. Let us know. Me or anybody on the team will be happy to talk to you and tell you a little bit more about it. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I guess that's it for now. We've got about 22 minutes before the next one is coming up. So I guess if you want to be on that one, you can take a break and then hop back on here in a few minutes.
Yep, everybody take a quick break, and we've got the join links are in that email that has the agenda. If you've had any issues with your computer audio, you can also join by phone. You just click on the same link, and Teams should give you an option to join by phone instead of computer audio. And that'll be it from me. So I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. Again, we'll have recordings of all of these available for you, and we'll email those out for everyone who was registered. Our next webinar is going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's about 20 minutes from now. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this one, and we'll prepare for the next. So see you in about 20 minutes.